Alright, Gozyuger episode 27. This week's episode I'll probably have a lot more to say about than the last couple of episodes. So, Gozyuger episode 27 is titled Win the Battle, Get Rich Quick. So, this episode was quite an interesting episode. I know I say that every week. It's kind of the gimmick I say for Gozyuger every week when I review the show. But we're in the beginning of a brand new two-parter. It looks like a brand new two-part storyline, but we're also setting up some character things moving forward as the show is at the halfway point, because we've probably only got like 25 episodes left of Gozyuger, 23 episodes at least, and then the show is probably going to be wrapping up early next year. So we're at the halfway point already, which is crazy to say out loud, because Kamen Rider Gav wraps up next week, and Gozyuger will be wrapped up before you know it, and probably within the next couple of weeks or within a month we'll find out what the trademark for the next Super Sentai is going to be, although rumors are floating around about that already. So, like I said, episode 27 was titled Win the Battle, Get Rich Quick, and the whole premise of this week's episode is that it focuses on two storylines going on. You've got the Gozyugers going on a tour of Cune's AI factory, and then you've got Mashiro and Bouquet teaming up in this episode. Now, Bouquet and Mashiro teaming up in this week's episode was kind of a weird thing, especially seeing it with all the trailers and stuff like that, but it makes sense. And this is something that I've been predicting or theorizing that might happen in Gozyuger, along with a bunch of other people who I talk with online, like Zio Agato and a nerd named Mark and stuff like that, where a lot of fans have been theorizing that Bouquet will turn good. She'll have a redemption arc. And it looks like they might be setting up that with the character with how this week's episode was going. So the start of this week's episode, you got Bouquet. She's worshipping the shrine of the Blue Ranger, and the Queen isn't a big fan of that because, you know, we're rewriting humans with AI. We're going to get rid of them. You shouldn't be worshipping them. And she's like, no, I'm going to do it anyway. So Cune takes her out back and shoots her, which, when I mean by that, raises her memories. So she loses her memories with the power of his special AI gun. So she's lost her memories. She's kind of wandering around, and she finds Mashiro, and she interacts with Mashiro, and you get some really cute interactions in this week's episode, like at the start of the episode when she bites into the bread, and you can see those big white eyes she makes with the contact lenses in there, and that was kind of adorable. I will say that that's probably going to be one of the many thumbnails I use for this week's episode, that is for sure. But we meet the monster of the week, which is the Money Monster, and him and Mashiro and the Money Monster have a money face-off in this week's episode. And the Money Monster is voiced by Champa from Dragon Ball Super. That was a recognizable voice I noticed in the episode. So again, they're using a familiar Toei voice that's been around for many years as one of the monsters of the week. I'm sure they've been in other stuff apart from Dragon Ball Super, but I mostly know him as Champa from Dragon Ball Super. So while this is all going on, you've got Mashiro and Bouquet flying around the world, making people pay for them to fix their problems, but they're happy in the end. They're getting their problems fixed, but a quote-unquote god is making them happy. Now, we do get a little bit of flashback with Mashiro in this week's episode, where when Mashiro used to be the Red Ranger, he was confronted about the Blue Ranger, about the whole money situation, but he's going to prove them wrong by being a god. I got the gist of that in the flashback, but it's cool that we got to see more of Mashiro's life as the previous Red Ranger and his previous team before them. So I kind of hope we get to see more of their team members later down the line, but they didn't even get named in this week's episode. If they don't get named, then I doubt they're going to be too important. But we got a flashback to see Mashiro's past before him in this week's episode, which was great to see. Now, going back to the whole Gozyugers going on the tour in Cune's AI factory, which is fascinating within itself with this week's South Park episode, which was the whole AI discussion as well. Coinkydink, I think not, but they go for a tour in Cune's factory, and we meet Setsuna, who is the right-hand man of Cune, and of course at the end of the episode they end up getting betrayed because it's a trap the whole time, and Setsuna turns into Battle Fever J, which the Battle Fever J outfits in Sentai are probably some of the worst Sentai suits in general, especially Miss America. That's probably one of the worst of them. But here they kind of look slowly better as they look better in 4K and better quality with better molding for the suit. So it does look really good here. But one of the big takeaways is that Setsuna is using AI to increase his suit and make himself stronger. So he ends up capturing the Rangers in the end by putting them all to sleep. So we'll see where that goes next week. We kind of have an idea with the preview where we're going to get evil Ranger clones, which is, you know, something you see in Sentai a lot. I think it's been a while since we've seen evil Ranger clones in Sentai, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Sentai back-to-back recently, but we're getting that trope within the show. But meanwhile, while the whole Mashiro and the Monster of the Week thing is going on, they're able to defeat the Monster of the Week in the end, but Fire Candle shows up, and Fire Candle and Mashiro get into a bit of a fight with their mechs, and because, you know, Mashiro's mech is sentient, it's jealous that Mashiro is hanging out with Bouquet and doesn't want to fight for him, which leads to Mashiro taking a bit of a beating. But while their mech is taking a bit of a beating, you've got Bouquet realizing, going, oh, they're fighting over me, then I must be some kind of wicked woman, or I'm someone important. And then at the end of the episode, she gets kidnapped by Setsuna. Now, I want to talk about Setsuna's power-up that he got in this week's episode, Killer Battle Fever J, which looks really freaking awesome. It reminds me of Stacy's Ranger form in Zenkaiser. That's the vibes I got, with the red and black, which looks really freaking sleek, and it's more of a better power-up of Battle Fever J, but more of an evil Ranger form, and I think it looks really freaking awesome as well. But Bouquet possibly turning good. I hope that's the direction they're going, and I don't know if she's going to get her memories back or she's going to betray the heroes, but we do get a confirmation that she's an AI creation, so she's not even human. She's just AI who's actually feeling things for the Blue Ranger. So she's AI, but she's developed feelings. So she's developed human emotions. So that's something to take note of. Like, she's not an actual person. She's an AI creation, but she's an AI creation that's actually, I guess, feeling and thinking and feeling love and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting to see where she goes moving forward. I'm hoping that she joins the good guys later down the line. I'm hoping that they don't kill her off because, you know, Fire Candle and Bouquet, they're a lot of fun. My favorite villains of this show, I feel like they're always on, whenever they're on stage or on scene, they're always fun to see. They're always putting in a great performance, I will say that. But I can't wait to see where this two-parter is going to go, because it looks like it's going to be interesting moving forward, and it's going to move the needle further towards the finale of Gozyuger. That is definitely something I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. But what did you guys think of this week's episode of Gozyuger? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And with that said, I will catch you guys later. Peace out. Take care. Bye.